The first, if the clerk could call the roll, please. Alderwoman Garrett,
Present.
Alderwoman Godfrey,
Present.
Alderman Martin here, Alderman Chapman. Present. Alderman Wilbank here, Alderwoman Oliver,
Present.
Alderman Watts. Attorney Will Purdy. Present. And Presiding Mayor Phil Fisher. Okay, I have a recognition tonight that I'd like to read. Dear Mayor Fisher, I'm writing to commend Officer Snow for his thoughtful and expedient response when a patient from our clinic was recently involved in an automobile accident. Officer Snow demonstrated exceptional care and professionalism by recognizing that the patient was in distress and promptly contacting our office for assistance. In a situation that could have escalated quickly, Officer Snow remained attentive to the patient's mental needs while ensuring a safe and stable environment. His swift actions and awareness of the patient's conditions ultimately prevented a potential mental health crisis. We are deeply grateful for Officer Snow's efforts, which reflect highly on the commitment of the Clinton Police Department, to the well-being and safety of our community. His actions exemplify the best in public service, and we are fortunate to have him as part of our community's police force. Chief, we'll extend that on to Officer Snow. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we'll have approval for consent agenda items A through W. Do I have a question or a motion or a comment?
Mayor, I need to recuse myself from 6B, but I'll move to approve 6A, C through W.
You heard a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
No.
Motion carries.
Make a motion to approve item 6B.
We have a motion. We have a question coming in for the,
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We have no department head reports tonight. I'm sorry, we do have a department. We got,
I can do either or. Either or. Good
He
evening.
got a staff meeting before yesterday, like saying, I'm staying tomorrow.
Good evening, Mayor, Board. I'll just give you a snapshot tonight of kind of where we are and what we've done this year. Pretty brief, you know these, you've seen these offenses, these crimes. This is kind of a gauge of how we determine how well we're doing throughout the city. Our efforts, and you can see the felony crime listed there. We're down across the board, and they're higher than I would like to see, but they're down from last year, and they've been trending down every year since 2013. They've been tracking that for quite a while, and I'll be pleased when we get them to zeros across the board. Our men and women are doing a remarkable job. They put a lot of effort into it, and it's good to see those numbers continuing to come down this week. There's a reason for that, and you'll see it on this page here. So far today, as of this morning, we've run a little over 26,000 calls for service for the year. Down just a little bit. However, we're getting into the Thanksgiving and Christmas season, and we'll be pretty busy. And I expect those numbers to get up around $30,000, which are 30,000 calls for service, which seems to be about our average. We have arrested 1,914 people, and of those, 1,049 for the specific charge of contempt of court. And I say that to say this: I believe that is making a tremendous impact on the lowering our crime numbers. We are holding people accountable for they just don't come to court anymore. They don't want to pay a ticket, whatever. Then we issue warrants and we go and get them. Or our traffic guys who are out there working are making these stops and they're finding these people that have these warrants and we get them into jail, holding them accountable. And I believe that is a big contributor to our lower crime. You can see 6,188 citations. That's with a 3-person traffic unit right now. If y'all remember here in the last year or so, we got that reinstituted. And I have a sergeant that will be back from military deployment. It's been gone a year. He is coming back. He'll either be back to work right before Christmas or right after the first of the year. When he gets back, so he gets back and they have 30 days to really have to reacclimate, and then he'll be back to work. So I say all that to say, I will have a sergeant then that I'm gonna add to this unit. And I'm gonna add another officer. So after the first year, there's gonna be 5 people instead of 3. Those numbers will go up a little bit. Again, that helps to contribute to lower crime numbers. When we have a lot of police officers, we're putting blue lights out there and slowing people down. Not only are we a safer city, but we are have a little bit less crime. And last but not least tonight, I want to remind everybody here and everybody listening, please use our House Watch program. When you go out, we're entering the holidays. It's going to be really busy. People are going to travel. Call us. You can sign up online on the police page. You can call 5252 the records. You can email me with your information. We'll get it in, or you can stop by in person. So there's no reason to going out of town. Don't call us and let us work for you. That's what we're here for. And you can see so far we've done a little over almost 1,600 house watch. That seems like a lot. You remember back in 18 and 19, right before COVID, we were averaging about 9,500 a year. Which dropped off significantly and just had. But anyhow, the service is there. Please use us. That's what we're here for.
Well, we used the house watch, in August, and it was a great peace of mind.
Good.
Our neighbors watch, but you know, they're coming and going, so it is. I appreciate everything y'all do.
Yeah, I'd like to point out, you just put this wherever you, on the bulletin board, or wherever you put it. But I'd like to point out the idea of the tightening down how the city enforces the warrants and how that is now notified versus how it was something that came out of our courts through our judges. And that made a full idea. When we made that a full-time position, they were able, I think, more clearly to see what that issue was and how it's settled. So I believe you were involved with that, and making that difference. Our city attorney now, ex-judge, real quick, that came up with that, but I guess former judge, but that's been a real asset to us, and
It's worked really well, and we appreciate y'all's support. That.
all
All
right.
right, thanks.
Thank you. Item 8, we have 3 appointments to the Planning and Zoning Board. Ms. Oliver, do you have an appointment for tonight?
I do. Sydney says, listen,
Okay, we have Sydney Sisson for Ward 5, Mike McSperrin for Ward 2, and we have Tyson Reno for Ward 1. And then I also have an appointment of Rod Logan from the mayor's appointment. We have a motion just to approve all 4.
Mayor, just to clarify, these are the Parks and Recs board.
What did I say?
You said planning and zoning.
It never fails. I keep those 2 mixed up. Parks and Recreation, my bad. We have a motion to approve those 4. Maybe to approve all 4. We have a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Item B, discussion action resolution of intent to grant an extension for ad valorem taxes to Gulf State Canners Inc. for new logistics and distribution equipment. Mr. Baltry will take us through this. Is there anybody here from Gulf States? Okay.
I believe there are tonight. If you remember, just recently, a few months ago, we did a couple of ad valorem tax abatements for Gulf State and for McNeely Plastics. In the industrial park, we routinely do this when there's improvements to the buildings and equipment investment, that type of thing that will expand the business, further investing in our industrial park. This one, they've asked for us to do a notice of intent just to let them know that we intend to do the same thing that we've done in the past. But this is also kind of an announcement that it's a $40.8 million project that they're planning to undertake. So there's some major upgrades and innovations there with their distribution systems, and stepping it up was supposed to also add several jobs. So I'd like to ask for that to be approved.
We have a motion. Question or comment?
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Who's second? Second.
A second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item C, discussion action approval to advertise for bids for the Aero Drive pedestrian pathway lighting improvements. Now, this will be brought to us by Greg Gerhardt, one of our consulting engineers.
Good evening. Okay, so, this project here, will be adding the 142 lights, on the eastern end of Arrow Drive and then turning south on Cynthia Road, going down basically to, where the end of the trail is there. Before you, approve these, you probably want to know how are we dealing with the existing lights that are out there. It was identified that there is a dimming device that can be added to dial down the light intensity. What works, install those on the two bollards closest to the high school, and it makes a noticeable difference. And so we're going to be, we have 68 existing lights. They've ordered or are ordering 66 more dimmers. And since they've proven to be effective, and Public Works will install those. These new lights will come with the dimming option included on them. And so this would be getting approval to advertise for bids for those.
I do have a question, real quick, if it's not perfect on that. For the lights that are gonna go down Cynthia, will the light be shining towards the soccer fields? Or will there be any ability to shield that light from coming in that would impede any sort of play?
That's a good question.
Courtney and I talked about that this afternoon. She had a plan for that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Explain it while it's going on. Come on up.
Yeah, so since the lights in Arrow Drive, there was a concern about the brightness. It was talked about to bring into place in part. My initial concern was the stopping of games during a soccer game. A lot of times, if headlights are on, the refs will stop the game, and you cannot continue playing until those headlights are turned off. And these lights on Arrow Drive seem to be a lot brighter. So my initial concern was that if we install those same lights at the same brightness, that we would have a lot of games stopped. So I'm hoping that with the dimmer that you've discussed, that will hopefully help. But I would like to look into some vinyl strips that we could put on the side that's facing fields. Keep that light facing the walking path towards the road. Yes, that was done at the high school, a baseball field going down the stairs into the stadium. The baseball pitcher would essentially be thrown towards home plate. And if that ball got hit right back at him, if those lights were glaring in the face, and that could get really hurt. So this is a safety issue that we need to address. But I would like to try some of those vinyl pieces. They could be put on just one side of the lights.
I'll get Bill on that. Get that included.
Yeah. So the money, what, is there enough money to
All of we will find a solution that is within
our budget? Okay.
They were saying it's only like $35.
Correct.
So it wasn't. Okay, we found the money.
the initial quote that we had was quite a bit. And we absolutely be able to do it, and then we don't have a solution, and this was implemented.
Okay, good. They took very.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item D, discussion action approval to advertise the bids for the emergency road and bridge repair Earhart, thanks to this one also.
Okay, so the Pine Haven Bridge replacement, that's going to be a 12 to 14 month project. If you approve advertising tonight, we'll anticipate taking this in step. Probably beginning in April and ending in next year, 2026, either in the April to June timeframe.
What will happen with the traffic during that year?
It's gonna have to be, of course, the existing bridge will be removed, so there's going to be extended detours.
You're not gonna be able to go north, find natives at 49. Or over a year.
Right. I mean,
And that's how people understand that.
yes, not that Williams.
Now, know that, Michael Florence below, my mom, they were replacing a bridge and they did a diversion around that bridge. And so you could still go in that same direction.
But because of where this one is,
Mhm.
there's really not a good way to do that.
Okay.
I'm sure it's possible, we'll stick that.
Yeah.
But I know this is on different, this is the same topic, but different bridge. Do we know an estimated completion date on Northside Drive? Does anybody, I mean, I know you're not involved with that.
Now, they are,
I keep getting asked that.
yeah, they're within their work schedules when they complete it. And like you, I wish they'd go ahead and get through, also, so. But until they pass their time of, their deadline to be through, they're okay.
This item on Pine Haven.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item E, discussion action approved resolution concerning the construction, engineering and inspection contract for the Arrow Drive pedestrian pathway improvement lighting program.
So this is approving basically the engineering inspection phase contract for WGK services for the lighting project that was discussed previously.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item F, discussion action approval of summary change order and final pay estimate number 15 in the amount of $32,184.21 to Hempfield Construction Company for the Lovett wastewater treatment facility upgrade project. Earhart? Okay.
This is the completion of the Lovett treatment facility. It was originally $4,972,000 plus. We had this one small change order in the amount of $5,887 which is included in the overall amount that you're approving. That had to do with adding some small riprap, had some erosion issues that were starting to develop, and also adding lighting in select places. So we recommend approval of it.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Okay.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, before we leave, I know we were counting sort of Lovett as a phase one to the sewer line to the Big Black River.
Right.
So heading the improvements that were done on Lovett, what will that allow us to do now? And then maybe in a second, very quick statement, update on the Big Black River project. While we're here.
Okay. So the Lovett facility, what that did was increase the capacity of the treatment plant there. The main issue there, though, was not that we needed the additional capacity right now. We did have a capacity there that we committed to the Continental Tire that we would maintain at least 225,000 gallons a day of capacity for Continental when needed. And so that has not, all of that has not come to pass yet as far as all that capacity needed for them. However, as DEQ has continued to make the permit limits more and more restrictive, the shape of the facility that was built back in 1992, 1993, was not going to allow that facility to, well, I can go into talking about nitrification, denitrification, or just the very shape of that facility wasn't going to allow us to create conditions in the basin that would allow us to meet the permit limits. And so that's, with this facility, we've almost doubled the capacity of that, and we'll be able to meet the permit limits. As far as the overall project for getting to the Big Black, the plans have been approved by DEQ for the first phase of the project. Basically, the design and plans and specifications starting at Bolton Brownsville Road, the interstate exit for Bolton. In that segment, the force main going to the Big Black is on the north side of the interstate. It's starting, goes west a little bit on the north side and then crosses to the south side. And so that segment all the way to, you know, where the big plantation house is on the south side, that it's called the Icy House, where that's right now where the design has stopped. And I don't know that we're going to have enough money to get all the way there in this first MCWI funded project, probably not. But that much of it's been designed, and the right-of-way acquisition team is in the process of getting those easements. Once we're confident we're going to have enough of those easements together to not hold up the contractor, we'll take bids, we'll advertise for bids and make that a strict project.
Okay, good, thank you. Sorry, any questions anybody might have? I didn't mean to. That's good, we didn't. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Love it, Lagoon, I think they said was built in 92. That was the year that Beverly and Karen were born, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Item discussion action, approval of master professional services agreement between the city of Clinton and Compliance Environmental Systems, LLC. Mr. Lilly, our Director of Public Works, will take us through this one.
Thank you, Mayor Board. What you see before you is an agreement with CES. I have Mr. Dylan Lynch here. Basically it's a turnkey bid. As you know, we are aggressively trying to assess our sewer system in search of areas of I&I with the help of WGK. We have a nice little list right now. Currently, we're working on the northeast basin. With that being said, my guys we do a lot of excavation throughout time. As you know, you can't plant anything around sewer. We'll be on this side of town, and now we have discharge on this side of town. What this agreement allows for us to do, which is more attractive to me, is to bring in CGS to come in and help us jet any lines that we need, of course, for price. Whenever we call them, or if we get a little bit ahead, or we want to start identifying other abnormalities within our system, they also have that capability as well. So with your approval, we'll keep on driving forward with our sewer efforts.
Approve, is there a second?
Second, I got a question. How much more efficient will your time be used doing this moving forward? Could you estimate how much you would shave off time wise if we didn't do this?
Specifically speaking, I can't, because we're dealing with sewer depths, or sewer at different depths. We may get into a spot where we have to take another trail wood kind of expenditure or a holly berry expenditure. And it takes us 2 weeks or a month to do. It's hard to tell until we dig up the earth.
This adds to your depth.
Yes, sir. It gives me a little extra line of defense.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item I. H, discussion action approval of best quote from Gordon Banks and Associates in the amount of $16,482 to raise an existing manhole on Monroe Street. Mr. Lilly?
Once again, I'm sure you guys will get tired of me talking to you about sewer, but we definitely have problems right here on the north side of Monroe Street. We're in a position where that line needs some repair. In the intersection on the north side of the railroad tracks, there's a manhole that's been buried for years. Look back on Google and I can't even find it. When we had a sewer main break behind the post office, we put a camera inside the line and did see it. It looks like it's buried under years of asphalt, whatever buildup the railroad company has done, and any asphalt that's happened in the past, I can tell 20 to 30 years. What we're asking the government to do is to help us identify that manhole and to raise it up and any other repairs that are needed. Your approval, we'll try to fix one more spot.
Is there any capacity that we could hold the railroad liable for, or is this something that falls in our bucket?
It falls in our bucket. From what I've learned and talking to some of the the retired public works employees, we probably had a hand in paving over it as well.
But if there was a way.
Oh, if there's a way.
That's not my monkey, not my son.
Make a motion to approve, is there a second? A motion and a second.
Yeah, question. I think there were two bids on this one.
Yes, sir.
And I just looked at them real quickly and I don't understand sewer too, so I comment first on that too, but I did notice one discrepancy, the low bid there, their description of what they were gonna do was kind of general, was lift the manhole cover. The other one gave a little more detail to it. And one thing just kind of jumped out at me looking at it real quickly was this one, the low bidder said, we're not responsible for replacing the asphalt. And the other one said remove and replace the asphalt. And I didn't know how much difference that made or whether the public work could do the asphalt part of it or something, but it just with a real quick read without me understanding it too, just looked like, they're talking about
The
one doing more than the other.
main issue that we had with the other company is that they wanted to have some form of a permit from the company. They're hard to get on the phone. I've contacted the permitting department. At this point, I'm just trying to get the project done.
I saw that in there too, so it's kind of confusing. So I trust you, what you say is the best one too, but I just did kind of notice that too. And there was a little different in the descriptions there too. You're confident with that one, I am too.
Yeah, look, both of them are great companies, but with the hurdle of trying to contact or get some good feedback from the railroad company, sometimes it's almost impossible. Good company. The guys I talked to are good, but it's just as straight out as any other multi-million-dollar company. Yeah.
It's $30,000.
Yes, railroad company.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Item nine, discussion action acceptance of the grant in the amount of $6,500 from the United States Tennis Association, Mississippi, for the Community Tennis and Facilities Grant to purchase upgraded amenities in the Brighton Park tennis courts. This done, I direct Parks and Rec for taking us through this.
So this is the exciting item, as you know, we did tennis court resurfacing back again in April, May. Along with the tennis court resurfacing, we were able to do a few amenities to it. We were able to get new benches out there, floating benches, which essentially just means we didn't want to drill back into the concrete to mess up anything and, interfere with the foundation. Along with that, we were able to get new net posts as well as new nets on courts. So with this grant, it was awarded in April, but I think it got lost in the mail from what we gathered. They reached out to me and was wanting to know an update on the project. What do you mean? So we were able to figure it out. It is for $6,500 and it was basically offset this cost. The amenities that we've already taken care of. That's exciting.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item J, discussion action, adoption of the food truck lease agreement for the firehouse food park operations in Town Park. Ms. Dunn will take us through this. The city formed a committee, which also included Alderwoman Godfrey and Alderwoman Oliver. Jimmy, city clerk was on it. Will Pardee was on it, some other folks. The good Robert Chapman was on it.
And the other guy.
And the other guy, so to talk through this lease agreement, I know we got some people here in the audience tonight who are interested in this also, so we'll have a discussion about this as we go. If you go ahead and present it to us, please.
Absolutely. So with the help from the committee, we were able to form a food truck lease agreement. This will be located at Kidstown Park, directly in front of the fire station, but on the parking lot side, parking lot side of the fire station. So this will be called the Firehouse Food Park. So it's fun there. We looked into, we have decided on doing a daily lease option and a 6-month lease option. The daily lease option will be $25 a day, and with all the different requirements that will need to be submitted with that. And then on the 6-month lease, it will be required to operate 5 to 7 days out of the week, Tuesday through Saturday, with Sundays and Mondays. That's an option as well. And we just asked that the 6-month leases communicate with me as far as if they're gonna kind of go off of what their hours and days are that they have agreed on with us. So the 6-month lease will be $300 per month. And so we will operate in that capacity. This will be kind of a trial and error as we go. And we are excited about it. So there's a lot of fun things that we hope this will bring to the city, as well as once we get the pickleball courts going again, there should be a lot of action out there in Keystone Park. Is there anything that you would like to add to that? Since we're only talking,
What was the time frame? The existing food trucks to get to the new location.
so we will begin installing signs on Monday. That will give us a little bit more time to get it out there and to move some picnic benches. So Monday will be when everything is out there, but it will probably take the people that are interested a few days to get all the prerequisite things that we would like to initially submit interest. I'd like for them to email me to fill out the application. And this will be all on we're gonna have a web page for the food truck park, but they'll be able to get the application off of the website. And they will need to send that along with a photo of their food truck, and then a photo of the menu and pricing, as well as their serve safe certification. And then we can, the committee will then kind of look over the interest applications and then approve which ones we want. We will have 4 spots for the 6-month lease, and then we'll have 1 to 2 spots for the daily lease.
So it's fun to talk about how this is unique to our city. But the other end of uniqueness is there's not much else to kind of base this off of. So like you said, with it being a work in progress, think of it more of prototyping. We get to kind of move and ebb and flow as we see fit.
and Courtney went above and beyond putting this together because there really wasn't much of anything else to compare this to. So I appreciate the hard work that you did on this and for letting us participate as well. And I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Do you have anything you'd like to add as a member of the committee, Ms. Ellen?
No, I'm really excited about this project.
We've got some people in the audience, so I know Mr. Neville's out here. Would you like to ask any questions about the whole thing and the concept, or you just want to hear what we're gonna do or what's going on? Okay. All right, good. Well,
I
we
do
have,
have a question, just to follow what, Karen has, is the ones we have approved in various places in the city will apply just like anybody else may apply. But at some point, we've given them approval to be where they are until we get this done. And so at some point, they got to be done where they are. So are we giving them a certain amount of time to move from where they are to?
That's what I was kind of
Yeah.
asking, what is the length of the process to do the application and get, I mean, we want people to be able to make application and make, arrangements to move, but I think 30 days should be plenty of time to move.
And I think it really just depends on how much of the, if they've already got insurance, if they've already got different things already set in place, then it'll go a lot quicker and they'll be ready to move in. But as far as my area being move-in ready, I would say by Monday is what we're gonna plan on installing things.
So we need to keep up with it, that they have to be, they cannot set up where they are now after that 30 days.
30 days from today.
And that puts
And will they-
around January 1st-ish.
And they'll be informed of that.
Just the end of the year possibly.
I can,
Okay,
I can try.
because I don't know.
Yeah, we want to make
Yeah.
sure, I mean, seem like they all have a priority on getting one of those spots because we've already approved them and then say, sorry, you didn't get one, so now you have to leave.
Almost
at the same.
Or that thing Roy says, he'll help you with the notifying the sheriff.
Courtney, you know.
Anyway.
Hopefully we hold it, out there to jack.
Yeah, I mean, that's a code thing.
okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item K, discussion action. Approval of change order request PCO number 01A with Mid-State Construction regarding the Kidstown Park Pickleball Court construction project. Ms. Nunn will take us through this one.
Good deal. So this has to do with our 2% phase 1 projects, and just to give you a quick update on where we're at with those. Brighton Park, we have fixed it off, and then we have begun taking down the playground. So that's been a little bit, exciting. Sad to see it go, but we're excited to see what's coming. So I would expect, with what we're waiting on the equipment to come in, I would say end of December, depending on when the installation crew can come in. So they haven't given us a specific date, but it shouldn't be any longer than 2 months, if not a month. So that's where the Brighton playground is. So then going over to Traceway Park, both softball restrooms 5 and 6 and baseball 10 restrooms, both have begun construction there. And then I believe they poured the concrete. They didn't pour the concrete. They worked on the surface today. So it's almost where they can start pouring concrete. So those are exciting over at Traceway. And we can jump over to Kidstown where this comes into play. So I'll start with a little bit of good news. I'll bring you down to a little bad news, but I'll bring you back up to some good news. So if you'll hang with me on that. Yeah. So when we initially approved the plans for 50% we promised some value engineering that we would check into on this. And with the value engineering, we were able to make substitutes for the roof at Kidstown for the restroom pavilion area. So instead of going off of some metal roofing, we're going to go with some ground shingles, which will still look good, but that was able to cut down some pricing there. So down to $100,000, I was going to say there. And then jumping into inside of the restrooms and the concession stands, we're going to go with some sealed concrete instead. And that'll save us about $32,000. So $132,000 in the value engineering. And then here comes the bad news. As we expected, we knew once they got under the foundation of the pickleball courts or tennis courts, we knew that there would probably be some dirt issues. And once they got under there, they found some city water, which is not good. But with that, they were able to figure out with some soil testing that we needed to take out about 5 feet more of dirt. I know, terrible. And then replace it with more, in order for us to have a good solid foundation there. So, that was gonna be around $128,000, which is what this change order is. So with the value engineering, that puts us at about $4,000 credit. And then let's bring it back up to the good news with that. If you remember that, Hines County Supervisor Deborah Dixon, she awarded us $40,000, which we would like to put towards the shade structures that we have incorporated into this project. So that would help take care of, offset some of the costs with that as well. So, you know, it kind of all evens out. A lot of these things we did expect, but the value of engineering didn't really help with this. So with your approval, I would like to approve this change order. So that we can, I think probably have
I
that.
just want to say, I'm so thankful that we've got quality folks looking at this, because you know the shape of the tennis courts that were there. So obviously there were problems. I know there were problems with the tennis courts at the high school, because some of this wasn't looked at and wasn't done properly. I'm so thankful that we got folks in place that are taking care of this, so that this will last for a long time for the community. I think this is a great project, and I appreciate all the eyes on it, making sure it's done right.
So Jimmy, we'll probably break even with our
Currently, with
save
Stewart Savings, right now, we're about 40,000 ahead
ahead.
of what we actually awarded.
Okay.
With these additional savings and then the additional help from the county, from Ms. Deborah Dixon. So
Okay.
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Item L, discussion action, certificate of appropriateness for mentioning variance for license 312 Jefferson Street. This is in Ward 4. Mr. Edwards will take us through this. Is anyone here from that company? There he is. Well, you're welcome to come up front and talk with us.
Thank you. And Bruce Grill is here representing Caracas for this certificate of appropriateness along with the dimensional variance. They are wanting to add an 8x8 cooler to the south side of the structure. That's the structure here. That's about where the 8x8 cooler would go. You can idea it's about 7 foot 6 inches from the fence to this property line, which would require a 12 foot 6 inch variance on there to install it at this location. You can get an idea of where it is, just the left was where the mural is there with Clinton. And it shows you from the parking lot of the police station back here. It is behind the privacy fence there. And the height of it, just about where you see the top of the fence now. Have asked them to place some compression units on the ground instead of on the roof of this one. See, from the parking lot, it slight distance there. It's not we're not very much of the same. Now this is looking from the courtyard back at the location, the area there. Closest, what it's about the height of it. And this is what they're putting in there. This is an 8x8, so it'd be more of a square with this one. On there, the sections 2200, 2206 of our zoning ordinance gives you prior issuance of a certificate of appropriateness for certain actions taking place, which is one of those actions. Section 1040 criteria to grant dimensional variances, and those public hearing was published, and the property was posted and required by all ordinance. The historic preservation community police planning commission have recommended for the last meeting.
You got anything you'd like to add? Talk to us. I've heard sounds of work going on inside.
Yeah, well, we ran out of, we ran out of space. We just realized once we got into it, that we're gonna be limited in cooler space. So adding this to the outside after I talked to Tim Parkman, I want to talk to him first and make sure he didn't have any problem and then move forward with these other processes, but, it's just gonna be able to cut down on our deliveries instead of having trucks coming through, you know, every day. We can cut them down to 2, 3 times a week. Cause this storage is gonna store our lettuce and all our, it's gonna be well needed. Cause right now we're working with, 2 refrigerators in this small room and a freezer. They all stand up in there. And that's it. So we just don't, we're brainstorming one day what we could do, and that's the only way we can go with it. And being that it's pretty much going to be covered up by that fence, we were hoping to pass.
The more important question is, who go?
Well, we pushed it back to January the 2nd. It was going to be December the 2nd, but what's going to hold us up is not really the build out. It's delivery of all the equipment. You know, the last thing probably coming in is going to be tables and chairs. And we obviously need those, but there is a possibility. I'm not going to guarantee it, but we might do to go only just for a little bit of time until we get the tables and chairs in. But we'll see when we get to that point. So we pushed it back a month, and it's just things just take time. Things take time.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're
Looking forward to it.
still excited and ready to get going.
Thank you. That's right.
Appreciate it.
Great, thank you. Item M, discussion action, dimensional variance. Johnny and Stacy Donaldson, 3155 North Morel Road. This is in Ward 1. Mr. Evans will take us through this. Is there anyone here representing that?
Thank you, Thomas, and that's here. On that, they are seeking a dimensional variance to place a 1,500 square foot accessory building on this 4 acres. This property is zoned A1. Gives you an idea of the 4 acres. This is from the road view up at the house. That's this house to the right. Other accessory structures to the left are on different property there. And that'll give you an idea. There's an existing 240 square foot accessory structure on this property now. And the way the land falls off, you see, you just basically see the top of the structure there. This is about where the location would go at for the second building, and there again is the existing 240 square foot building there to the left of it, what you can see from the road out there. This is the building that they're looking to install. Other than it won't be the red, it will be the desert tan to match the primary residence of the residents there. This will require, because of the 2 different structures there, a 990 square foot variance. The new building being 1,500 square foot, and the existing accessory structure being 240 square foot. Not scale, by the way, but that's the new building. The section 1004 again gives you the requirements for granting the dimensional variance. The notice of public hearing was published and the property was posted, as you see, as required by our ordinance. And the planning commission did recommend approval as submitted.
That's for surrounding neighbors. Any other questions, comments, or motion?
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Anything you'd like to say before you?
Thank you all, Mayor. Thank you all for what you do in our city. Not knowing how the process worked, wanting to do this, but I will say as a citizen, I do appreciate the process. because it does help us keep the quality of our properties up and the neighborhood kept them keep uniform. And trust me, I really wasn't concerned about this board. It's the review board at my home. My wife, it's a little tougher. So that's the one I'm really concerned about. Yeah, it would have to be to her standards. And so-
Item N, discussion action certificate of appropriateness for Karen Godfrey, 805 North Monroe Street in Ward 1. Mr. Edwards will take us through this.
Thank you. Ms. Godfrey is seeking a certificate of appropriateness, to repaint the, exterior of the structure at this location. This is the location, or this is the, building as it stands now in the color. This property is in the Old Town Clinton zoning district. If approved, the siding will be the lighter color there, the, bare W25, and then the door and shutters will be the Benjamin Moore 517 to the right, Greenbrook. The brick, will remain the same. It's not getting painted. The, again, the Historic Preservation Committee as well as the Planning Commission have recommended approval. That's submitted.
It looked better than,
Yes. They've already removed the, cyclone, the chain link fence in the front of it. Yeah.
they took pretty.
Now we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item O, discussion action site plan review. Jeff Finch, 1106 Industrial Park Drive. This is in Ward 1. Mr. Edwards will take us through this. And Brother Finch is here with us tonight.
Mr. Finch has submitted the documents for an approximately 1,500 square foot, pole barn that's been built at this location. There in the yellow, you see the, location of it. This is the building, which the colors, there. Site plan does meet the dimensional, landscaping, and parking requirements of our ordinance. And the architectural review committee, as well as the planning commission, have both, forwarded their recommendation for approval.
Mr. Finch, is there anything you'd like to add?
You did a fine job.
So it's already built
Yes, ma'am.
before our approval.
Yes, ma'am. I was made aware when I filed for the, permit for the electrical work that they needed to review that. Went ahead, and process now.
Come on up, Jeff, speak at the microphone so people can hear you, please.
Thank you.
Go ahead, if you would.
Oh, I just said that, I didn't think it was necessary at the time, but when we started to, try to look at the electrical work, I did know that I needed a permit, so I made them aware that we needed a permit for the electrical. Wasn't planning on putting it out there, but, it was pretty dark in there at night when we load trucks and stuff. But I needed something to block the view of the lay down yard from the street. And permanent building really is not the right thing for that because it floods. It gets about 2 feet in water at times. So
Victor, brief.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. Item P, discussion action, the architectural review, Carrie Beth Flooring and Design, 1205 Clinton Industrial Park Drive. This is in Ward 1. She's here tonight with us. You want to come on up in case there are any questions?
This is Gary Oakes. Her and Elizabeth Stewart had submitted color samples to repaint the building at this location and to install an awning over the front door. This is as the building looks now. This property is zoned I1, and this is an approved use for this district. Plans are to paint the front and all 4 garage doors you see there now, and then for March the 1st of next year to finish painting the left side of the building, the side we're looking at now. This is the color they have chosen. It's the Sherwin-Williams 7069. The architectural review committee as well as the planning commission have forwarded their recommendation for approval.
Their recommendations were to paint the whole thing at once, correct?
They wanted to make sure that for the first, that it was done, which
Normally our permitting process takes 6 months anyway, so as long as they have to paint it, March 1st.
Other questions, comments, or a motion?
Move to approve.
So it'll be painted by what day?
March 1, 2025.
Okay,
Yes,
We
ma'am.
have a
thank you.
motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion, a couple of seconds. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
One more question.
Sure.
They've also approved us taking down the chain link fence in the front and to get for that.
Oh, no.
There's only 600 left to move it, so it's not gonna make us get back. We are gonna do it. Just the front, all the front, the sides will remain.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you for doing,
Yeah.
working on the bill.
Thank you. Okay, absolutely. It definitely doesn't screw design right now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Item Q, discussion action. Certificate of appropriateness, Chris Evans, 804 Monroe Street. This is in Ward 1. Mr. Edwards will take us through this. Chris is here with us. Are there any questions? Come on up, Chris, please.
Mr. Evans is seeking a certificate of appropriateness to rename this structure as well at 804 Monroe Street. The property as it stands now. And again, our zoning ordinance does require certain actions prior to repainting an old town plan. Codes that shows it well. The cypress post and place the little, I don't know if you can really see it or not, the round metal sticks up in the up there with cypress columns there.
That's what changed from the.
Yeah, that's the, yeah. These are the colors that they're, I think you can paint it, the color to the left there, Sherwin Williams 7650, is for the fascia all around the building. And then the siding and window trim would be the Sherwin Williams 7654. Again, the short road fascia, we should close the plan, finish that right.
Second. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Item Q, A and B are other actions to approve, folks. One, the hiring process at the police department and one at the public works department. We have a motion to approve A and B. Move to approve A and B. Second.
Second.
A motion, a second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Item C, we have a need to go into an executive session tonight for consideration of a personnel matter. We can have a motion.
Move to for closed session to determine whether to go to executive session for a personnel matter.
We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
I move to go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter.
Second.
In a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. We'll be back shortly. This should not take very long, but we will be back. Out. Okay, we're back and, didn't take us very long at all. We did take an action tonight. We suspended an employee for 2 days without pay. We'll now move to item 11, other business. Do we have any other business to come before the city? We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank y'all for coming and listening in tonight.